Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go short track racing at Martinsville in this episode for the Cup Series, but of course first we had the Truck Series here where we were going to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This time out we actually had driver Jimmie Johnson in the car, obviously this being his last season in real life, likely in the Cup Series. Not sure maybe if that's going to change due to everything being all weird this season, obviously, but either way we had Jimmie Johnson in the truck for us here in the number 25 here at Las Vegas. This won't be his final season in the career mode, I can tell you that. Jimmie Johnson still got a couple seasons to go probably before we're going to see him make an exit in our career mode, as he would though start about the midfield as he went down towards turns 1, getting pretty aggressive early on, making it 3 wide up the inside of drivers like Austin Wayne Self right here out of turns 2 as he went down this back straightaway on this first and opening lap here in Las Vegas. Now he's up now battling with drivers like Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen up there in the mix, Grant Enfinger as well as came through out of turn 4 side by side with Crafton at this point. And Jimmy would just kind of continue battling around with some of these drivers. He was now 3 wide up the middle a few laps later at this point, getting passed by Crafton, as well as the 16 of Brett Moffitt would go through on the inside. And then the 02 of Tyler Young, I think his name is, also would go past. But then he would kind of rally his way back. He was now battling with Todd Gilliland in the number 4 truck as he came through out of turn 4 side by side with Gilliland, trying to take the position, running up inside the top 10 at this point behind Matt Crafton. Now as he came through at this point being the final lap here in Las Vegas, he had actually gotten taken to the inside by the 16 of Brett Moffitt, so Moffitt would pass him as well as Stuart Friesen would pass him as he went down this back straightaway for the final time, but he would slice to the inside of Friesen as they're going to go 2 by 2 down into turn 3. Moffitt now takes a position over Matt Crafton. Johnson gets to the inside of Crafton now as he's going to be on the inside of the Canadian of Friesen as they exit turn 4, but Friesen is going to come through to use that momentum to get to the position. Johnson crosses the line there just behind Stuart Friesen to get P7 for us here in Las Vegas. So a very solid effort as Harrison Burton gets the win, so he will be locked in the playoffs now for the Truck Series. Definitely a good result, though, for our team to start this season. We've definitely had a really good start so far to this season here in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, but we had no Xfinity Series race today. We come straight through to myself here in the Cup Series at Martinsville. Last time we came to this track, we had a rough go at it, but hopefully we can turn things around here as we go down into turn 3 on our qualifying attempt. Through turns 4 out of the corner, it was a pretty decent lap as you went down the front straightaway, coming through to cross the line at the 19.704, and we go P6, so a very solid qualifying effort here in Martinsville. Definitely have some confidence coming into this one at the paperclip. And on pole, we got Joey Logano for Penske Racing.
We're live from Martinsville Speedway for the STP 500. Now, Martinsville is known as the Paperclip due to its unique shape. This historic track is the shortest in NASCAR, and the venue is overflowing with fans excited to see our first short track race of the year.
Alright, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here with the STP 500 at Martinsville Speedway. Kurt Busch, our teammate, doesn't seem to have a lot of speed coming into this race. As you see, your pole winner of Joey Logano. And Chris Buescher crashed during qualifying, so he is starting at the back in a backup car. He's had a pretty good start to the season. He is currently inside the playoffs, so we're going to see if Chris Buescher can rally his way through the field here today at the paperclip. Now as we're ready to go green from the 6th starting position, now as a green flag is out, Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin lead the way here to the start of this race. Denny Hamlin had an incredible season last time out, came up just short of a championship after, like I said, blowing it away in the final corner at Homestead, Miami, and he's come into this season as well very strong. Him and Kyle Busch have already won 3 of the races this season, so Joe Gibbs Racing already on a roll as we exit turn 4 just behind our former teammate Clint Boyer. Jimmie Johnson in the mix now as we get clear of Johnson, get down to the inside, just on the inside now of Clint Boyer as we come through out of turn 2, so we take the position away from him, and then we would rally our way forwards through turn 3 and turn 4 to get to the inside of Denny Hamlin, who started P2, but now drops down to the 6th position after just 2 laps here at the paperclip. Martin Truex Jr. up in the mix as well at this point now as we came through on lap 6. It wasn't until lap 6 until we finally got a chance to make a pass on Alex Bowman. We get up the inside of him going down into turns 3. The confidence was definitely building at this point in the car. I was realizing we had way better speed in this car than we did last time out here in Martinsville. We come through now on lap 10 with a chance to pass Brad Keselowski as we go down into turns 1. Jimmie Johnson also just kind of working his way through the field as well, but we pass Keselowski and take over P3 here in Martinsville. Then, sure enough, a handful of laps later or so on lap 17, we had started to work our way through the lap traffic. It doesn't take long to run into lap traffic at this track as we were passing Chris Buescher, who had made up 0 ground. He was P39 at this point, but Joey Logano still leading over second place of Martin Truex Jr. Truex still on that really long winless streak, and then we would run down both Truex and Logano as we came through into the final 10 laps or so already of this first stage. And then we came through on lap 25. Logano, he had jumped up to the top and it was working, so I decided we're going to jump up to the top as well, get to the outside of Martin Truex Jr. for the second position. And as we go down into turns, we're going to get a little bit aggressive here, make it a 3 wide with the 3 in the 43 of Austin Dillon and Bubba Wallace. And sure enough, though, we take over the second position away from Martin Truex Jr. There, as you see, our teammate Kurt Busch struggling extremely hard right now here in running in the 31st position, so definitely not good for our teammate Kurt Busch. But we came through now, approaching just the final lap here in the first stage, now getting to the back of Joey Logano as a white flag is in the air for stage 1 now, as we're right on the back bumper of Logano, trying to put on the pressure now, is going to give him a little bit of a bump there as we exit turns 2, heading down this back straightaway for the final time here in stage 1, side by side with David Reagan. As we go down into turns 3, Logano has enough of a gap to where he should be comfortable now. As we come through out of turns 4, coming to the line, Logano is going to win stage 1 as we cross the line here to get P2 in the stage. So definitely showing some serious speed so far here in Martinsville. I think we might have an opportunity to possibly get our first career Martinsville series, or first career Martinsville win in the Cup Series now, as we would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, as well as minor repairs. No need to make adjustments to the cars. I was very happy. Daniel Suarez, our rival, actually moves up into P9 at this point as we get ready to start this second stage. Now as the green flag is back out, like I said, Daniel Suarez being our rival, we shouldn't have to worry about him right now, as he doesn't seem to be much of a threat in this race so far. As we go down into turns 1, immediately Joey Logano is going to get clear as we go down this back straightaway, and actually just about tagging that wall there is going to be side by side with Logano's teammate of Brad Keselowski. As we go down through turns 3 and out of turn 4, Logano will lead the first and opening lap of the stage now, as we are going to be in this duel right here with the 2 car of Keselowski as we come through turns 1 and 2. I didn't want to give up P2, so I decided we're just going to see if we can somehow rally through on this outside lane and make it work now as we go down into turns 3. Matt DiBenedetto up there in P4 now, just behind us now, as he's looking to have a good start to the season and maybe have a chance to get in the playoffs himself now, as sure enough we came through on lap 6. It wasn't until we hit lap 7 till we finally cleared Keselowski using that outside lane. So we battled side by side for 6 whole laps pretty much and made it work on that outside. So we came through now on lap 10, starting to actually close in a little bit to the 22 of Joey Logano now that we have gotten away from Keselowski, but we were closing in on lap traffic. Sure enough, come through now on lap 13, right up to the back of the 22 of Joey Logano, giving him just a tiny tap to the back bumper now, as we're going to put the pressure on the 22 as we go down into turn 3. We're going to look to the outside of Joey Logano through the center of the corner, and sure enough, out of turns 4, we are going to take the lead here at Martinsville for the first time in quite a while now as we go down into turns 1. We've won so many times here in our NASCAR Heat 3 career mode, but so far we have not won a Martinsville race in NASCAR Heat 4 career mode. As we go down into turns 3 on now lap 14, there's actually trouble behind us. Matt Tifft in 10th place is going to go into the outside wall, looking like he blew a right front tire. He hits Alex Bowman on the way down, and he's going to go back into the outside wall now as the caution is going to come out here in Martinsville. Joey Logano there in P2 as we get ready to line up, going for once again another restart now, as it's going to be just past the halfway point here in stage 2 now as the green flag is back out. Jimmy Johnson actually having a pretty solid start to the season, and he's showing it again today now as he finds himself inside the top 5 currently here in Martinsville. But we would clear Logano at this point, and it was just a breeze right here for us as we went down into turn 3. It didn't really seem like anyone had much competition for us. We came through on lap 21, 10 laps to go on the stage. We were pulling away. Logano was the only one that could maybe keep a little bit of pressure on myself now as we came through, though, to lap 27, starting to once again run down the lap traffic. Logano still there, lurking in the distance, and then 3rd place was just way far behind now as we came through to just 2 to go in the stage. Logano had closed up on me a little bit because we were dealing with lap traffic, a little bit of contact there with Ty Dillon as we go down this back straightaway with just a lap and a half to go. The roles a little bit reversed. In stage 1, it was myself trying to put the pressure on Logano for the stage win. Now Logano tries to put the pressure on us, but we're not really feeling the pressure now as we actually stretch out the gap as we start the final lap here in stage 2 as we go down into turns 1. Jamie McMurray there in P34 as we get right on his back bumper now as we go down this back straightaway for the final time, going down towards turn 3, easily going to win the stage if we don't make a mistake there. As you see our teammate Kurt Busch just up ahead now as we exit turns 4 side by side with Parker Kligerman, and we win our first stage of the season. So finally getting a stage win. Jimmy Johnson there in P4 with DiBenedetto up there in P5 as well. Daniel Suarez has moved his way up into the 8th position, but once again we were pit for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, no adjustments needed. The confidence is really high going into this third and final stage, looking for our first win with this brand new team of Chip Ganassi Racing. Now as the green flag is out, and what helps us a lot is our biggest competitor, Joey Logano, had a very bad pit stop. He is now outside the top 5. Jimmy Johnson there in P3 as we get a great exit out of turns 2 heading down this back straightaway. Johnson and Keselowski are going to battle it out side by side. Now, as remember, they battled it out for the 2012 championship many years ago now, and it was Keselowski who came out on top of that for his first and so far only Cup Series championship. Now as we go down into turns 1 and 2, Jimmy Johnson through into the 2nd position on lap 69 at this point. Nice. As we go down through now out of turns 4 at this point now on lap 76, we had once again opened up the gap. We were now 3 seconds ahead of Jimmy Johnson, as this is a good time to do our first crank it up here of the season. There was our first crank it up of the season here in Martinsville. We were now starting to work our way through lap traffic on lap 85 now, getting past these cars with no problem. But there was one problem that was starting to build up. I was noticing Daniel Suarez, our rival, was starting to move his way up through the field. Kyle Busch, he was up into 2nd at this point. Jimmy Johnson had faded just a little bit now as we came through on lap 95, passing Chase Elliott, putting him a lap down, and same as Eric Almirola. Is actually going to go 3 wide for a brief moment there with Elliott and Almirola, but we were just slicing through the field. We were way ahead of the competition. Kyle Busch in 2nd place was just coming out of turns 2 as we're now coming to the line 10 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch at this point with 27 laps to go. Daniel Suarez was up into P3, so that was the only concerning thing as a caution comes out, and now that concern grows a lot bigger. We have to obviously come to the pit lane. I eventually decided to actually take no tires, as that call has worked here in the past, and we would remain leading this race now as we get ready to go green. Daniel Suarez lines up right behind us. Now I am concerned as we've dominated this third and final stage as the green flag is back out, and we are underway with just 24 laps to go. So go down into turns 1. The 41 gives us a bumper, and he's going to put us all the way up into the wall now as we come through out of turns 2, and all of a sudden our dominance has just been completely wiped. The right side of the car is damaged, the front of the car is damaged, maybe even the back as well, as we got into it with Kyle Busch after Suarez just completely punted us. Now Bowman takes the lead out of all that mess now, and sure enough our rear bumper is damaged, and I was feeling the effects right away. The car was starting to slip and slide, and it was tight through the center of the corner. Nothing felt good in the car at this point with just 22 laps to go. Of course, at this point I was not happy at all with Daniel Suarez. I was trying to find a way to get back to him now as we came through on lap 106, going up the inside of Jimmy Johnson through turns 3 and turns 4. The car not driving good at all at this point, but we would be able to get past the 48, the 7-time champion, for a moment now as we came to on lap 110, though getting extremely loose out of turns 2, and that allows Keselowski to pounce on the opportunity. He gets to my inside as we go down into turns 3. A little bit of contact made with him there as I was actually hoping I could get down behind him, and then we're slipping and sliding again. Jimmy Johnson gets past me. We drop down now to P8 as we came through, though, on lap 114 out of turns 4, just doing my best to stick with them. Lap traffic, though, was starting to become a factor, and that's going to be my opportunity now on lap 117 back up up the inside of Jimmy Johnson. Alex Bowman still leading. He's kind of just took the lead out of nowhere after Suarez decided to full-on bulldoze me now. As we came through on lap 120, just 6 to go, we slice up the inside of Keselowski. And there you see the 41 of Daniel Suarez, the driver who punted us out of the way now, as I'm definitely not happy with him at this point. Still looking for revenge as we go down into turn 3. We're going to completely wipe out the 41 of Suarez. We go into the outside wall, do even more damage to the car as the caution comes out here in Martinsville, and this is going to force a 2-lap dash at the finish here at the paperclip. I knew Suarez took our chances away of winning, so I didn't feel bad at all about taking him out now, as the green flag is back out. 2 laps to go. I'm still extremely disappointed. We dominated the second stage and the third stage, and Daniel Suarez completely wiped that away as we're slipping and sliding on the exit of turns 2, but we get back into the throttle now as the car was driving so bad at this point. As we go down into turn 3, Suarez is going to get right back to our bumper now as he's going to push us out of turn 4. We're slipping and sliding, trying to hang on as Alex Bowman takes the white flag here in Martinsville. Go down into turns 1. Suarez again gives us a bumper as we go through the center of the corner. All the way up the track we go. We're slipping and sliding on the exit of turns 2. Bowman leads down towards turn 3. I'm obviously still pretty upset, so I go in full-on slam into the back of Suarez, trying to push him up the track, but he hangs on as we slam into the outside while Bowman wins in Martinsville as we come through to cross the line to finish in P10 after dominating the final 2 stages in Martinsville and get completely destroyed by Daniel Suarez, and we finish in the 10th position instead, which really, in my opinion, should have been our first win with Chip Ganassi Racing. Certainly wasn't happy with Daniel Suarez after that one, and I think this rivalry is definitely going to continue for a little bit after that now. As I knew when he was starting behind me, going down into turns 1, we were in a little bit of trouble, and I was hoping that I could just brace for the impact and maybe just hold the brakes enough to where we didn't lose the lead, but he hit me so hard going into the corner, I just kept going up the track right into the side of Kyle Busch, and then when I made contact with Kyle Busch's left front, it hooked me into the outside wall, so it got even worse after that. So very unfortunate. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. In the next one, we go to Texas, where we might see things get even worse with Daniel Suarez, but not the finish we wanted in Martinsville. So we'll see what we can do in Texas. So thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a great day, everybody.